There's just something about it that's giving squash. Also, the lashes is giving spider legs. Hey people, it's Temi. If you're new here, I'm having to refilm this. I see a mic in front of me because my other microphone did not record any audio, but you already know the drill. I'm looking at #Teminators on Instagram, and let's go. So for this first one, we have an eye, and I love the colors and the details in the pupil. Simply beautiful. The blend is blending and it looks really, really nice. I also really like the lashes. I think you've done a great job, taking it from different directions. Really great job. For improvements, the first thing that comes to mind is the skin. The colors are a little bit off. It kind of looks like you just shaded each color and put them next to each other, and you actually want to work in light layers with blending coloring pencils. So I actually have a whole Skillshare class where I go through this and I break it down. You can take my class for free and I'll link it down in the description box, but I think that will really help you with color pencil blending for skin tones. But this is a great start, so well done. And the next one we've got is of this cat. Firstly, the scale. I can see from how you're holding it, that is massive, so well done. But also I love the colors and the vividness of the eyes, and then the rest of it being in black and white. The first thing that comes to mind for this piece is the fur. If the fur was more realistic, I feel like it would just level this up so much. And a cool way to get a realistic effect with the fur is by using an indenting tool. And I've shown this in a few of my crayons videos, but when you use an indenting tool first, when you then layer your coloring pencils or whatever you're using over the top, then it leaves those bits white, and it works so well to create the illusion of fur, and then bringing back the negative space. It works so well. So I think improving the fur will really level up this drawing. Next, we have this digital art one, and I just love this. The colors are so vibrant. I think it's a really, really, really nice piece. First thing that comes to mind for improvements is just to do with the butterflies. I do like the butterflies you've got around the girl's face, but this bottom butterfly, the back of it, the butterflies just have a plain color on the other side. I don't know, it just feels a little bit rushed. And then also I'm missing some really sharp highlights, especially in the hair. I feel like following the flow of the hair, you've got the deepest, darkest shadows, but I'm missing, some vibrancy with some highlights. But this is a great piece, so well done. Next, we have this portrait, and I love the colors. I just love how colorful all of the pieces are today. I really love the colors. I love the blue on the nose. I love the purples in the shadows. Oh my gosh, I really love the wide range of values you have here. I can see the sharpest whites, I can see the deepest colors. You have done a fantastic job. To improve this, the first thing that's coming to mind are the proportions. And the thing with realistic drawings is if the proportions aren't 100%, it's always going to look a little bit off. So improving your proportions is going to help you much more than you can even imagine. And I've got a proportions video on my channel where I show you the 3 levels. So I think improving your proportions will level this up so much because you already capture color so beautifully. Next, we have this portrait, and well done on the outline. I think you've got the proportions done really nicely. And now I'm just going to talk about the shading. So I like that you've, gone dark with the value of the hair, but you're definitely lacking on values, which is the lights and darks in the piece. One side is just completely white, and then the other side has some shading, and no matter how harsh the lighting is, it will never be this peak. So you want to have a much nicer blend from the lighter to the darker shaded bits. And then also, if you just take your darkest pencil, so your softest pencil, which might be 6B, 8B, whatever set you have, if you shade that on a spare bit of paper and you shade that as dark as it goes, you can really see the darkness you can get to. So you can definitely make this hair way darker, and then you'll be able to go darker with the skin because then it's more in context. I really hope that makes sense. But I've got a video about how to improve your graphite drawings, and I think that will really help you with just getting your shading together. But it's a great start, so well done. Next, we have this one of Miss Zendaya, and you've got the proportions together, the likeness, because I can already tell this is her. The striking eye and the focus of the eyes, I just love it. And then the softness of the skin, softness of the flowers is a beautiful piece. For improvements, I just wish you added some more detail into the hair, so I could see some of the darker, smaller strokes you've got with the eyebrows. And I wish I could also see some of these strands in the hair as well, just to improve the range of values in the hair. So I'm definitely missing some around the scalp, and just going out and just following the flow of the hair, I feel like it would just level this up so much. And I do like the softness of the skin, but it's giving me 1 wash of color, maybe 2. So you're really missing some of those extra supplementary colors that will really make this a little bit more vibrant. But this is a brilliant, fantastic start, so well done. Next, we have this super colorful portrait, and again, I just love that all of the pieces I'm seeing today are just color. I really love the proportions. I love that you've You've just gone for it with the colors. I love the focus of the eyes. It's a really nice piece. For improvements, the first thing that comes to mind is it's giving, I did the sketch and then I filled it in. It's giving coloring book, like I did the outline and then I filled it in. And I don't know what style you're actually going for, so it's really hard to give this direct criticism. But I will say, especially for places like the lips, you don't want it just to be an outline that's filled in. So you don't want to use something as harsh as black. You want to go with a slightly darker blue. I think that would really help. And same with the shadows from the hands to the face. Again, I like the fact that you really are not scared to go dark, but you want a nicer blend, you know, from the dark to the actual color. But this is a great piece, so you should be so proud of yourself. Next, we have this eye, and I'm just drawn into the vividness of the green. It is so beautiful. You have layered those colors so nicely. It's blended beautifully. So well done. For improvements, I wish you also took that bravery to the skin tone, because it looks like you just used one color and you kind of varied the pressure that you applied and let the white of the page through. You definitely want to layer other colors, you know, go back in with a lighter color as well and just create a much nicer blend for the skin. Also, the lashes is giving spider legs. Lashes will never just follow like this. It's hard to say without the reference, but some lashes will be clumped together. Also, the bottom lashes don't start like at the inside of the eye. So basically, pay closer attention to the reference, but this is a great start, so well done. Next, we have this side profile one, and side profiles are not easy, so well done. I also love the kind of monochromatic vibe that we've got with this, but for improvements, I'm missing your values, which is how light and dark each bit is. You know, it looks like you did the hair, then you did the skin, and then you did the clothes, or in whatever order. But because of that, there's a deepness and richness that is really missing. So for example, with the hair, you've got good highlights and you've got a good midtone, but we want the much darker blue that will be, you know, around the roots of the hair or separating each lock of hair. We're definitely missing those. And then for the skin, again, you've captured the lights really well, and I love how the lights are coming from the side view. But again, with the shadows, you've kind of attempted it in, you know, the jaw to the neck, but you definitely want to go a lot deeper. You're missing the deeper shadows, basically. I'm pretty sure this is digital art, so add another layer and just go even further with the shadows, and this will really level up. Oh, and next we've got this one, the hair. Oh my gosh, the detail in the hair. Look at the baby hair. I am in awe. All the strands are going into each cornrow. I am in awe. This is beautiful. I also love the purple highlight that you've got for each braid. It's honestly such a beautiful piece. I love the sharpness of the eyeliner. It's fierce. The shadow by the nose is rendered so well. The purples. Ooh, okay, see, I can see that you watch our videos already. This is a beautiful start. For improvements, the skin color. There's something really off about the skin color. You've got some nice highlights, some nice midtones, and some nice shadows, but I just don't like the way they blend into each other. But also, some of the colors chosen I feel are a little bit off. It's kind of hard to explain, and I'm actually currently working on a new Skillshare class where I go into how to pick colors following a reference, and I think eventually when that's out, that will definitely help. But it's hard to critique this without the reference. But the colors, just pay closer attention to the colors that you're choosing, because this one is giving a bit washed out. Is she meant to be darker skin? Like, I can't really tell where this is meant to be going, but it's just feeling a little bit incomplete. But the detail that you've got going on in the hair, I can see that you're incredibly skilled, so well done. Next, we have this one, and oh my gosh, the detail, your use of a white pen is just beautiful. The color in the skin tone, very nicely done. The hair detail, the lips, the eyes. I think you have done. I just noticed the shadow between the neck. This is what I've been saying. You're not shy to put in those shadows, and it just looks amazing. So, well, your coloring, 10 out of 10. For improvements, firstly, that ear. There's something off about that ear. But the actual main point of improvement that I want you to focus on are your proportions. There's just something about it that's giving squashed. So I think if you improve your proportions, this will improve so much. But this is a fantastic drawing, so well done. And next we have this portrait of me. This is so pretty. Your values, 10 out of 10. Look at the deepness and the darkness in the hair, but you've still got the highlight strands and the skin. You've got the shine down, the lips, you've got my nose. This is sick. The blend of the skin is so smooth. This is a brilliant drawing. The only thing that's coming to mind is this side is looking pretty perfect. The other side, it's giving squashed. So I'm just going back to proportions. Just improving your proportions would just level this up. Like, I could just imagine this with perfect proportions. 10 out of 10. Next, we have this room. And I think it's a great start. I really like the composition. And I think you've done a nice job with the beginning stages of shading. But the main problem I can see is in your values. And I've spoken of values quite a bit in this video. But you don't have enough darks and you don't have enough bright whites in the piece. I can see that you know, attempted to leave some bits white, but what you want to do is go back in with an eraser just to bring up the sharpest whites, like in the windowsill and maybe the curtains. But also, and more importantly, your darkest shadows. You've got a tiny bit of it with the clock and the negative space in the bookshelf, but there's so much more depth that would really separate like each of these, like the sofa with the side table and all these other things. If you really go further with your values, the drawing will automatically level up because it will have a lot more contrast, which will just make it stand out more. Next, we have this portrait, and it's really hard for me to critique this if I don't know what vibe you're actually going for, you know? So I guess if you're going for a realistic style, then you want the proportions to be a lot better. But let's even assume that's not the vibe you're going for. With the actual piece, you want to think about your light source. So she's leaning this way, so let's say the light is coming from this side. So on this side you want the lightest points, but it's automatically going to cast a shadow on the other side, so you can't just use one or two flat colors. So pay attention to light source and what kind of shadows those bring. And I guess you've kind of started with the shadowing, you know, under the lips, but I want you to go for softer shadow colors and then blend it out a little bit. And then also with the hair, I think it's because of what shadow color you chose by her neck. I'm glad you went for something deep, but it's giving her hair is growing out of that area, which is not what we're going for. And also for hair, you don't want to think about it as individual strands. You want to think about it as different locks of hair. So because of that, you want, you know, almost a flow of how the hair goes. Again, really hard to say without a reference, but you're missing the shadows in the hair, you're missing the highlights. It just looks like, you know, a flat color that you've just shaded in one or two directions. But the colors you've chosen are really nice and it's definitely a great start, so well done. And that's it for today. I'm sure if your artwork hasn't chosen, you still get some tips, but feel free to use the hashtag Teminators and maybe your work will be featured next time. Thanks so much for watching. If you also want to improve your art, I'm sure my proportions video will be great for you to watch next. So see you on the next one.